So I want to talk about the AMD model by ICT. Okay, it seems a lot of people don't really understand how to use the model. Okay, so most people think it's all about price formation. Yes, it's actually price candlestick formation, but it doesn't just play out the way you want it or every day. Okay, it doesn't just play out that way. So most times you get a different candlestick formation pattern. Okay, there are a lot of candlestick formation patterns, okay, which we are not going to talk about in this video because it's going to take us a long time to cover those up. But let's just focus on the AMD model. Okay, let's say for instance here, okay, we have the Asian range. Where's this two? Yes, perfect. We have the Asian range. Okay. Let's see. Let me take all this off yet. Let's say we have the Asian range. We have this range as our Asian range. We have this as our Asian range. For that's 6 a.m. Let me add text to it so you understand it properly. We say from let's just assume it closes 5 a.m. actually. Closes 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. Nigerian time. Okay, so closes 5 a.m. Nigerian time. Or I want to make this a little bit easier for you guys to understand. Just give me a minute. I want to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand now. Okay, let's say let's imagine I didn't do this. Okay, imagine I didn't bring this up. Let's delete it. Let's start properly. Okay, we have our Asian range. Now, this Asian range, understand whatever time zone I'll be using will be based on New York. Okay, so you do your time, you do your, what do you call it? You do your conversion to your local time. Okay, or you could just easily set your trading view here to New York. Where is it? New York is minus 4 a.m. You can just set it from here. It's easier done that way. It's easier for you to understand when you just set your time frame, your time zone or your trading view to that. Okay, so our Asian range usually ranges from um, it ranges from 8 p.m. Okay, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. through 12 a.m. Okay, New York time. Okay, 8 a.m. 12 p.m. 8 a.m. 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. New York time. You can see it there. Okay, so usually at this time, okay, you would want price to play around this zone, creating highs and lows, okay, highs and lows without breaking out of it, okay, during this time or breaking low, okay. So you want price to just create or a consolidation. You can call it a consolidation pattern, okay. You can call it a consolidation pattern here, okay. It could be something like this and like this. Okay, it could be like this. Okay, so you want price to create something like this. Okay, during this section. Okay, this session, and let me just say this is Asia session. Okay, so let's say these are Asia session. We expect price to move this way. Now you need to understand the basis why price is moving this way. You know, it's accumulating orders. Okay, this we have the buy side liquidity here. We have the sell side liquidity here. Okay, price might just do a run up. Okay, to one of these liquidity pools. Okay, either the sell side or the buy side. Okay, you need to understand that. Now you need to understand also that Asian range is not just doesn't just the power of Asian range doesn't just end in Asia session. Okay. Now, you have a full day candlestick. Okay, you have a full day candlestick which might take from beginning of Asia range here to the end here. Okay. let's say this is the beginning of our candlestick and this is the end of the daily candlestick. Now, you understand very well that, okay, we have a field. I want you to look Asian range as a field, okay? I want you to look at it as a field where there are landmines, okay? I want you to take this as a field. I want to take all this zone here, okay? This entire zone here is a field filled with landmines, okay? Let me just put some markups there. Let's say, let's use this. No. Okay. Yes, let's use this instead, okay? Let's say they're filled with landmines. These are all landmines, okay, for price, okay? These are all landmines. You have to be careful of them. Okay, just assume these are all landmines, okay, inside this field here. Okay, let's say this is a field of landmine. Asian range, when there is consolidation or a range pattern, okay, it's always a landmine for price. Okay, it's always a landmine for price, because sometimes you might get a situation where price breaks out of this level, okay, and then comes back in, taps a landmine and breaks out back. You get, when you have your Asian range, okay, when you have Asia, okay, when you have Asia ranging this way, okay, you don't expect price to come in, come out, then come in here and start playing again. No, price will never do that. You can go and back test, check your chart. Price will never do that. You get, price will never do that, because what price has done is it has created a landmine for price. It has created a pool of liquidity for price. You understand? It has created a pool of liquidity for price. This range here has created a pool of liquidity for price, because at every point in time, price movement, there's always somebody buying, there's always somebody selling. And you can see there's a rate, like I said, it's a ranging pattern. There's a buy, people are buying, there are people buying, there are people selling. Okay. So it has created a pool of liquidity in itself. So you look at it as a landmine field. So this is what you expect. Okay. Now, in some cases, price might break through, okay, then break back up, then break in again, okay, taps a landmine, and boom. Yeah, it happens this way also, okay. But you will never see price coming to play in here after the Asian session has ended. You would never see it. You can go and backtest properly so that you'll be sure of what I'm saying. Okay, it's something I've studied over the years. Okay, so let me just take this out. Let me just take all this out. I don't really need them here. But just to make you understand, Asian range is not just, doesn't, the power of Asian range doesn't just end in the Asia session. It doesn't just end there. Now, let's go to the London session, where you would understand. We'll talk about the manipulation or the Judas swing, which ICT usually calls it. Okay. We have yes, we have our London session. Now, let's do it this way. Okay. Let's use this for a bullish scenario. Let's assume we are in a bullish scenario. This is for a bullish scenario. This is a bullish scenario. This is a bullish scenario. Okay. Let's say this is a bullish scenario of AMD bullish scenario. AMD bullish scenario. Okay. So let's say this is an AMD bullish scenario. Then now let's go to our London. Now say this is our London here. Okay. London session has opened. There's always a gap between between Asia session opening closing and London session opening. Now that gap is usually the Sydney session, but nobody really pays attention to it because there's no much volatility in there. Okay, there's no much volatility in there. But in some cases, okay, in some cases, you might get price movement that takes out liquidity from the buy side liquidity in a bullish scenario. Okay, during this session, during this Sydney session, price might take out buy side liquidity before coming into sell side liquidity during London. Okay, so let's say this is our London session. This is our London session here. Okay, London session usually starts at 2 a.m. Okay, so it doesn't usually start at 2 a.m., but we actually say it's 2 a.m. because of the Q zone and the manipulation. Because of the Q zone, sorry. It's always a manipulation. Sometimes, London session usually starts at 3 a.m. Okay, it's 3 a.m. generally. Okay, so but I always take 1 hour in for Q zones. Okay, then we talk about there's London Q zone. Okay, likewise every session has that. There's London Q zone and there's London Open. Okay, we have London Q zone and we have London Open. Okay, Q zone is 2 a.m. Okay, 3 a.m. 5 a.m. is London Open. You understand? You need to get that right. You need to understand this very well. You don't want to be confusing yourself at the end of the day on when the Q zone time is or not. Session, yeah, okay. So we have our London Q session here. Okay, we have our London session here. Then now what we should be anticipating during this London session is a manipulation into a higher time frame POI. Okay, we could get a higher time frame POI here. There could be a higher time frame POI. There could be a higher time frame POI here. Okay, so it's easy, but we don't trade from such. Okay, remember you don't trade from such. You don't trade from such. Okay, you don't trade from it. No, you don't. We are not concerned about the POI there. We are not concerned about where price is going into. No. What we are more concerned about is trading the AMD pattern. Okay, we want to be sure that what the Asia session that range is actually trying to